3,254 empty seats. It's officially the lowest game of the Caitlin Clark era. All right, so that includes all of 2024, all of 2025, and then this year, this is the lowest game of the regular season in the history of the Caitlin Clark era.
Look at those empty seats, thousands of them. This is supposed to be the Caitlin Clark era, the moment the WNBA finally broke through. But what you're seeing right there is 3,254 empty seats at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. That's not just bad. That's officially the lowest attended game of Caitlin Clark's entire WNBA career, including all of 2024 and 2025. And the reason why has fans absolutely furious.
Sent to me, I got tagged. Wow, look what the Fever leadership has done. Lost all trust with fans, and fans are speaking. Look at the amount of empty seats at this game, folks. I mean, look at that. Wow. Oh my God, that entire, wow, look at that.
That's not a camera angle issue. That's not clever framing. Those are entire sections sitting empty on a game night in Indianapolis. And here's what makes this particularly damaging. The Indiana Fever knew this was coming. They watched ticket resellers drop prices from normal levels down to $8.35. $8 for a Caitlin Clark game. And those tickets still didn't sell. The organization made a calculated decision. They waited until 5 p.m. on game day, just an hour and 20 minutes before tip-off, to announce Caitlin Clark wouldn't play due to back stiffness. Fans who'd already bought tickets, fans who'd traveled from other states, fans who'd arranged their entire evening around seeing the league's biggest star, they all found out at the last possible moment.
It was sold out when I can see lots of empty seats where my own eyeballs is hilarious. Here is another person that was at the game. Look at that. Look at all them. Look at all those empty seats. I mean, oh, good God. All these empty seats. Look at these. There's empty seats everywhere. In this day, over there, over there, over there, over there, all through there. Wow.
Now check out what fans who actually attended are posting. These aren't screenshots from the broadcast. These are videos taken from inside the arena, showing the true scope of the empty seats. Upper deck sections that are almost completely vacant. Lower bowl seats sitting unused. The announcer claimed the game was sold out, but you can see with your own eyes that's not what happened here. And this matters because the Indiana Fever were already on thin ice with their fan base after the way they handled Caitlin's rookie season in 2024. The constant game time decisions. The vague injury reports that said day-to-day for months. Fans learned not to trust what the organization was telling them. Now they've done it again, and the financial consequences are immediate and severe.
They made a point. They made a point to not tell people because they wanted to maximize ticket sales. That's scumbag shit. Well, this effing sucks. I flew in from Montana for tonight's and Friday's game. Wow. My wife and some of her friends went down to the game. They are pissed. This right here is why I haven't bought tickets this year. Front office can't be trusted.
Here's where this gets legally problematic. The WNBA has explicit rules about injury reporting. According to league policy, teams must report information concerning player injuries, illnesses, or rest by 5 p.m. local time the day before the game. Not the day of, the day before. For back-to-back games, the deadline moves to 1 p.m. on game day. The Fever's announcement came around 4:30 p.m. on game day for a regular single game. That's a clear violation of league reporting requirements. So where's Kathy Engelbert? Where's the league office investigation? When NBA teams violate injury reporting protocols, there are fines and public accountability. But in the WNBA, when it involves their most valuable franchise player, there's silence, and fans are noticing that double standard.
Quote, game time decision and day-to-day BS. We were fed for months. We're here again, folks. Right here, the attendance, 14,010. 14,010. And it probably got a lot worse. The Fever won the game. It was that drawn-out, boring half-court crap that's tough to watch. Ty Harris started the game, played 29 minutes, scored 0 points. Kelsey, 6 of 11, 21 points. Aaliyah Boston, 8 of 11, 24 points. They won the game. But it was a tough watch. And, by the way, this Portland Fire team is horrendous. It is horrendous.
Listen to what fans are actually saying. One person flew in from Montana specifically for this game and Friday's game. Montana. That's not a quick drive to Indianapolis. That's flights, hotel rooms, rental cars, meals. We're talking hundreds or potentially thousands of dollars invested in seeing Caitlin Clark play. And they found out she wasn't playing when they were probably already at the arena. Another fan wrote, "This is why I haven't bought tickets this year. The front office can't be trusted." Think about that. The Indiana Fever have a generational talent, someone who can fill arenas anywhere she plays, and their own local fans are refusing to buy tickets because they don't trust the organization to be honest with them. That's not a marketing problem. That's a credibility crisis. The Fever's own supporters are saying they feel disrespected. They're saying the organization deliberately withheld the information to maximize ticket sales, knowing that if they'd announced it Tuesday evening per league rules, thousands of tickets would have been refunded or gone unsold. So they waited. They let fans buy tickets, make travel plans, arrange childcare, take time off work, all while knowing Caitlin probably wasn't going to play.
White on this supposed injury.
Steph, when did you guys find out that Caitlin would not be able to play today?
About 5 o'clock.
Did she say that there was pain? How did that all kind of come to pass?
Just woke up with some stiffness and some soreness, and we like to see, again, like I always say, like, how do you respond after a workout? Is it for us, it's not the time to take a chance. We just really want to be cautious.
Do you know if there's any concern beyond today?
No, there's not.
Okay, that doesn't tell the whole story. That didn't tell the whole story. Check this out. Stephanie White says Caitlin Clark did not participate in practice yesterday. Getting treatment instead, she woke up with stiffness. For us, it's not a time to take the chance. She said she doesn't anticipate it being ongoing, but adds she's not a doctor. No shit. She's healthy. We're not managing anything. She's healthy. This is a back issue that we want to make sure we give her plenty of time to be ready.
Now let's talk about what head coach Stephanie White actually said, because the explanation doesn't hold up under scrutiny. She claims Caitlin didn't participate in practice the day before, was getting treatment instead, then woke up with stiffness on game day. They found out around 5 p.m. she couldn't play. White says there's no concern beyond this one game, but then adds she's not a doctor. But here's the contradiction that fans immediately caught. White says in the same statement, she's healthy, we're not managing anything, this is a back issue. We want to make sure we give her plenty of time to be ready. Read that again. She's healthy, but this is a back issue that needs plenty of time. Those two things can't both be true. Either she's healthy and this is precautionary, or there's an actual injury that requires rest. You can't claim both simultaneously. And there's another theory circulating that the Fever won't address. Some fans believe this isn't an injury at all. They think it's a suspension related to the sideline confrontation between Caitlin and Stephanie White that happened in the previous game. The timing is suspicious. The vague explanation is suspicious. The violation of league injury reporting protocols is suspicious. If this were a legitimate back injury that prevented her from practicing Tuesday, why wasn't it reported Tuesday evening as required?
Day before the game. Teams must designate a participation status and identify specific injury, illness, or other condition, medical condition, or other reason for a player whose participation in the game may be affected for any reason. For the second game of a back-to-back, teams must report by 1 p.m. local time of the game. They didn't. It was way late. I think it was nearly 4:30. Day of game. Kathy Engelbert, are you going to investigate this? Or is the league not going to do anything because they're all up in it? Jason Whitlock, after injuring and destroying their Golden Goose in year 1 and 2, the WNBA changed the way games are officiated under the pretense of Quote, freedom of motion. They changed the rules after damaging their meal ticket. Clown show. Fire everyone.
Jason Whitlock made a crucial point about this situation. He said the WNBA spent Caitlin's first 2 seasons entering and destroying their golden goose through inconsistent officiating and allowing physical play that targeted her specifically. Then the league suddenly changed how games are officiated under the pretense of freedom of motion, only after the damage to their biggest star was already done. Now we're seeing the consequences of that mismanagement. But the bigger issue Whitlock raises is about media accountability. Imagine if this happened with the Dallas Cowboys or New York Yankees. If America's team announced their star quarterback was out 90 minutes before kickoff, violating league injury reporting rules, with thousands of empty seats visible on national television, it would be the lead story on every sports network. National and local media would be demanding answers. Reporters would be asking uncomfortable questions about organizational competence and league oversight. That's not happening here. The local Indianapolis media that covers the Fever daily isn't pushing back. They're not asking why the injury report was filed late. They're not questioning the contradictions in Stephanie White's explanation. They're not investigating whether this was really an injury or something else. And the reason is simple. They don't want to lose access. Beat reporters who ask tough questions get frozen out. So they carry water for the organization instead of serving their audience.
Sorry. That's what y'all look like, is a bunch of benign tumors with microphones, laptops, whatever it is you're trying to do. You've got to ask the tough questions. Are you noticing empty seats? Blah, blah, blah. You noticing the drop in ticket prices? Blah, blah, blah. No, they don't want to piss off the organization because they don't want to lose their access. They don't want to lose their access. They're carrying water for the organization. You guys wonder why I can't stand the media. Again, somebody asked me, Rhodes, don't you want to try to get a media critic? Hell no. Because, I'm not going to be tied down with what I can say and not say. I'm not giving up my freedom. Guys, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you're still subscribed. Tell me what you think. What a disaster.
Here's what this means for the future of the Indiana Fever and the WNBA's broader growth strategy. The Fever won this game against Portland 78-64. Kelsey Mitchell scored 21 points on 6 of 11 shooting. Aaliyah Boston had 24 points on 8 of 11 shooting. They didn't need Caitlin to beat one of the worst teams in the league, but nobody cared. The game was described by people who watched as drawn-out, boring half-court basketball that's tough to watch. Temi Fagbenle started in Caitlin's place, played 29 minutes, and scored 0 points. 0. This is the product the WNBA is offering when Caitlin Clark doesn't play. And fans are rejecting it with their wallets. The 14,010 announced attendance, which clearly wasn't accurate based on actual seats filled, represents a catastrophic drop from what Fever games normally draw. The secondary market completely collapsed, with tickets falling to $8 and still not selling. That's not just about one missed game, that's about broken trust. The WNBA cannot afford to adopt NBA-style load management. The NBA loses fans over stars sitting out games, but they have decades of built equity and massive television contracts that insulate them from the consequences. The WNBA is still fighting for mainstream relevance. They're still trying to prove they deserve better media deals and higher salaries. You can't build that foundation by having your biggest star mysteriously unavailable, with late notice and contradictory explanations. And this isn't an isolated incident. Fans remember the 2024 season when Caitlin was listed as game-time decision and day-to-day for months, while clearly dealing with something the team wouldn't disclose. They remember feeling jerked around then. Now it's happening again, and the patience is gone. One fan wrote, "Remember the game-time decision and day-to-day BS we were fed for months? We're here again, folks." The Indiana Fever have a choice to make. They can continue operating like this, late injury announcements, vague explanations, treating fans like they're too stupid to notice the contradictions, and watch their attendance crater even further. Or they can respect their audience by being transparent, following league rules, and understanding that trust, once broken, is incredibly difficult to rebuild. Because here's the reality. Caitlin Clark is the only reason most of these fans care about the Indiana Fever. She's the only reason the WNBA is getting mainstream attention. She's the only reason ticket prices were high enough that dropping to $8 felt like a collapse. And if the organization keeps mishandling her availability, keeps violating reporting rules, keeps giving contradictory explanations that insult fans' intelligence, those fans will stop showing up entirely. The empty seats we saw tonight aren't just about one game, they're a warning. They're fans saying, we don't trust you anymore and we're not spending money until you give us a reason to. The Fever better figure out how to respond, because this isn't a problem you can spin away with press releases. This is a credibility crisis that requires actual accountability and transparency. And right now, neither the team nor the league is providing either one. So what do you think? Is this really a back injury, or is something else going on here? And should the WNBA fine the Fever for violating injury reporting protocols, or does Caitlin Clark get special treatment? Let me know in the comments, and make sure you're subscribed because this story is far from over.